Hello, I just want to do a short video in my tiny front garden about this Agapanthus. This is a small miniature Agapanthus. Well, I don't know about miniature, but it's small anyway. By the way, it's the 25th of July 2024. I just want to show you this as, while it's in bloom, is the best that it's ever done. Now, the reason I'm making this video is the standard advice for growing Agapanthus is put them in a pot, or if you can, grow them in a pot which constricts their roots. So if I come down here, then you can see that that is in quite a narrow pot there, and you can see how the roots are coming out there. So this is really constricted. In fact, from what I hear is that you only allow it to remain in a pot for maybe a few years, maybe 2, 3, 4 years, I'm not sure how long exactly, and then what happens is it stops flowering. Well, this has been in this pot for at least 10 years. It's a very narrow pot. It's probably about 12 inches deep by about 4 or 5 inches across, maybe 6 inches maximum across. And in fact, that is what seemed to happen, is that it flowered fairly well for maybe a few years, and then the last couple of years well, last year it got absolutely no flowers on it whatsoever. The year before, I think it had 1 or 2 on it. So it had started to reduce its flowering, which seems to fit in with the general advice on growing these, but kind of laziness and really just liking the foliage as well. I didn't really want to disturb it, so I thought, right, I'm just going to leave it and see how it does this year. And it seems to have got a second wind, because just look at that, it has never ever flowered as well this year. Now, I know we've had a lot of water this year, we've had a lot of rain, but in years gone by I've always made sure it's been well watered when it's been a bit drier. Obviously the summer of 2022 was very, very hot and dry, and you would think as a plant of, I think, is it South Africa, at least it likes quite hot, dry places, that it would enjoy a summer like 2022. But I only got 1 or 2 flowers that summer. This year, just look at that. And yet it is absolutely, totally and utterly pot bound in there, to the point where, as I say, actually stopped flowering, pretty much stopped flowering for a couple of years. And then all of a sudden this year, it's just come back with a vengeance. I mean, just look at that. I really have never seen it look that good. So yeah, so if you, like me, have an Agapanthus that you think is now too pot bound and is not flowering anymore, leave it and see what happens the next year. Or if nothing happens again the next year, just leave it again and see what happens the year after that. And my bet is that you will get something like this, because that is, let me just see if I can get in round here. Look how pot bound that is. Look at those roots, are absolutely coming out of the top there. Yeah, I mean, that most people would have split that up and potted that on several years ago. But as I said, this has been in here for at least 10 years, if not longer. But yeah, there we go. So don't worry if your Agapanthus stops flowering for a year or two. At some point, it will give you a display like that. Oh, that's my experience anyway. So, okay, bye for now.